This chapter of Boku no Hero Academia did much better job of painting Inasa's character. Because in the last chapter, I did not like the way he was acting. Now, they go deeper into his backstory and who his character is, and along with Todoroki. And it makes you understand him a little bit more, even though I still don't agree with the way he handled his actions towards Todoroki. Me personally, I wouldn't have gone about it the way he has, especially because you don't handle the situation with Todoroki in the middle of an exam. But anyway, you get a flashback of Inasa, and it shows him how much of a gentle person he is and how interested he is in this whole world, how he's not afraid of anything. He looks up to everything. He loves a lot of things. He's a very happy-go-lucky person, right? And when he saw Endeavor and he saw how hateful his eyes were, and since he was such a little kid, and everything in the world he's always looked at it in a positive light. He's an optimist, basically, and Endeavor kind of affected him that way, and he didn't like the way Endeavor looked at him, and he didn't like the way Endeavor acted, because it distorted the way he looked at a hero, and he hated Endeavor for that. He couldn't stand Endeavor. He doesn't truly accept Endeavor for a real hero. Despite that, they show more screen time of him actually trying to give Todoroki a chance of talking to him. See, in the last chapter, it looks like he just gets pissed off at Todoroki just because he brushes him off. But in this chapter, it actually shows him trying to be friendly with Todoroki and in a more serious manner and in a more intimate manner. He tries to be buddy-buddy with him because they have apparently another competition race back then, like in a flashback when they were trying to get into UA. And Todoroki was a straight-up dick, man. Like, the thing with Todoroki is that he didn't seem like this much of a dick in the beginning of the first season of Boku no Hero Academia. Not until we actually delved into his character later on in the story. But in the first initial parts of Boku no Hero Academia, he seemed like the quiet guy, and he seemed awkward. But before he got in, he looked more like a straight-up dick. And it was just confusing to me, because I'm like, wow, okay, so this is the Todoroki that this guy was showing his bad side to Inasa, the one that we saw later on in Boku no Hero Academia, before he got into UA. You get what I'm saying? Because he didn't seem like a type of emo-ish character who dwells on the world and just push people out of the way in the beginning parts of Boku no Hero Academia. But he did show that to Inasa. He showed Inasa his bad side without knowing it. And Todoroki realizes that. That's the great thing about this chapter, is that you get a self-reflection with both Todoroki and Inasa, because they're getting their ass handed to them by Gang Orca, and Deku like snaps him out of it from the previous chapter. He tells him, what the fuck are you guys doing, right? And they realize they're screwing up, and even the judges are looking at them like, man, it's such a shame. These guys are from the top 2 schools, and they probably don't have a chance anymore. And Todoroki goes through a self-reflection. He remembers Inasa. He finally remembers him. He goes, how could I have forgotten a person who was that loud? Was my vision so phased out from all my past insecurities with Endeavor because I wanted to push him all to the side? And he realizes that he showed Inasa a bad side that he didn't mean to, because he can't even remember Inasa. That's the thing. He had such tunnel vision, and it was like so unhealthy for Todoroki. It wasn't until recently where Todoroki is starting to heal from his dad, from Endeavor. And even now, he's still trying to heal. He's still trying to learn. He's still trying to adapt to new people. And he recognizes that, this is all because of my fault. These actions, I have to make up for that. But then even Inasa has his little own epiphany. You see, they both have inner monologues with each other, which sometimes I don't like, but sometimes I think it's necessary. And I think here, it's when it's necessary, so you could speed up the process of the character development without interfering with the action. So you have Inasa thinking to himself, I've become exactly what I hated the most. And what Inasa became was, he became a condescending hero. And I think that's what he hated the most about Endeavor, was that he was talking condescendingly down to Todoroki and telling him he'll never acknowledge him as a hero, even though he has a different way of going about it or a different personality. So you have Todoroki thinking, we both can't stand each other. How could I have thought we could have beat Gang Orca with these odds? And then he says, but if you're thinking the same thing, wind, fire, they put a combination together and they freaking throw a big attack at Gang Orca, and that's how the chapter ends. Excellent. I loved it, man. Inasa, he won points with me, even though I don't agree with the way he went about this. He interrupted this in the middle of exam. And if this is the case where he decided not to go to UA because of Todoroki, then I think that's an overreaction. If that's the case, we don't know enough about Inasa and why he decided not to go to UA. I want to dive into that. I want something else, another reason why he didn't go to UA. I don't, because in the beginning of this chapter, he was competing to get into UA with Todoroki for like at the entrance exam. But if he didn't go to UA because of Endeavor and Todoroki, I think that's an overreaction. And there's some things that Inasa went about this that showed a lot of immaturity, but I'm glad that he was self-reflecting and he realized how much of an idiot he was being. They both set aside their egos, and that's such great character development. And they did it right in this chapter. They immediately realized that we're gonna fucking fail if we don't put our dicks away and we help each other. And this all started with Deku, man, with those words. What the hell are you guys doing, man? Good job, Todoroki, Inasa. Inasa, you have won me back. Even though you're immature about this, you learned from it, and I'm excited about your character. I want to see him grow more. I want to see why he didn't go to UA. Todoroki, you're my boy, one of my favorite characters. See you growing, Zuko. That's it for this chapter, guys. I want to give this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Really love this chapter. Fan art out.